Man, I don't know what this dude was thinking in Georgia that dropped his kids off at McDonald's while he gonna do an interview. Man, you is crazy, dog. Don't you know CPS is out here and it's real, dog? It's real. It's sad that he ain't had nobody that could help him. Know what I'm saying? Where he could have dropped his kids out while he went and go handle his business on the interview. But if it was me, I would have just brought my kids with me and just explained to them, look, I am a single father. Know what I'm saying, of this many kids. You feel me? You would have gave them the whole rundown. And I guarantee you, they probably would have moved him to the front of the list, depending on if he was professional or not. Know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, well cleaned up and looking presentable, then yeah. But other than that, I ain't dropping my kids off nowhere. Know what I'm saying? I can understand if he had a kid that was 15 and then he had another kid that was probably like 8 or something, then that's fine. They old enough to act like they have some common sense, you feel me? And plus me being the oldest out of 5 kids, anytime my parents had to go to work for a long time, I knew not to answer the door and I knew that I was in charge. And wasn't nothing going, know what I'm saying? Wasn't nothing getting out of hand or nothing, bro. Real talk. You either gonna listen to what I say or, hey, you already know what come after that. Because at the end of the day, I am over all of us. You feel me? So you gonna listen to what I gotta say. But, yeah, I don't think this dude really thought it through to drop his kids off at McDonald's. And no telling what they was doing for them to get them people called on them and him. You feel me? While he trying to make a way for them. But at the end of the day, like I said, I don't condone what he did. You feel me? I just feel like it could have been, I don't know. I feel like it could have been another way, in my opinion. Maybe not, but this is just my opinion.
And as you can see, you see that you have some people iffy about the whole situation. You even have some guys saying, hold on, man, like, bro, I wouldn't even do that. I would not even have thought to do no crazy stuff like that. Now, we're talking about a man, right? We're talking about an active father, because so many people in the black community, mainly your sisters, say that black men don't like to take care of their kids, black men lazy, yada, 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 right? We always hear the false narratives that a lot of your sisters like to push. But here is a single father, right? He obviously does not have help with 3 kids, I believe 1, 6, and 10, leaving the kids at McDonald's so he can go to a job interview. How are we going to down a man? How are we going to down a man for being an active father, for making sure that he can provide for his kids? Now you take him to jail. How else is he going to provide for his kids? Now, some people are going to say, well, CPS is going to take them and they may go to a family or be taken care of by the government, as if the government has kids' best interest at heart. The government do not care about the kids. You putting them in foster care ain't going to happen, right? It's not going to work. It's not going to work, because guess what? Our father's going to want to come back to his kids. Our father's going to want to come baid to his kids. But somebody raised a good point. They said that if he was white, right, if he was white with those kids, cops would have came up there and they said they would have sat there with the kids until that man got done with his interview. And that's sick, man. Right? And that's sick. That's sick. We're going to really arrest a man for that. But of course, you got a beautiful sister who agrees with this man and thinks that, hey, well, this is no different than kicking a man while he is down.
This Augusta man was arrested for leaving his kids at the McDonald's playground while he had an interview. It was said that his kids are 1, 6, and 10 years old. The news said that he took his kids to that McDonald's playground while he went to an interview nearby. But a lot of people in the comments are saying that he was actually at the interview in the lobby of McDonald's with the hiring manager. And y'all know the playground is always connected with the lobby, so he probably could even still see them playing from time to time while he was sitting there doing his interview. So by any means was that necessary to arrest him. And seems that he didn't have a babysitter for his kids. I'm sure they called Child Protective Services on that man also. It's so sad. He looks like he is trying. In my opinion, that was no reason to arrest that man at all. All I see is a daddy with his kids who is trying to provide for them by any means necessary, even if it means bring them along with him to his interview and they play to the side for a few minutes. Now, I know a lot of people might disagree with this, but that 10-year-old is kind of old enough to me to at least keep an eye on the 1 and 6-year-old for a good 10 or 15 minutes. And I know the interview probably did not last that long. This is the definition of kicking somebody while they're down. I hope everything works out for that man and his kids. He deserves it. A lot of men are not even trying that hard.
I mean, she's speaking truth. She is speaking truth. Because what's so funny, right? What's so funny is we just had a situation. I'm always bringing it up, but we just had a situation where a mother left her kids in a car, and two of them passed because they froze to death.
I lost the one who made me a mother. I lost a 2-year-old. I'm dying inside. It hurt. I feel like my heart is breaking. And I have 2 more kids to live for.
It's been a long journey for Tatiana Williams with an even tougher battle ahead. She spent the last 3 months living in a van with her children.
Then the mother turns around and goes out and have a little ball, right? She went to a party with her friends. I mean, like, your children just passed and you're already partying? What are we doing?
I lost the one who made me a mother. I lost a 2-year-old. I'm dying inside. It hurt. I feel like my heart is breaking. And I have 2 more kids to live for.
It's been a long journey for Tatiana Williams with an even tougher battle ahead. She spent the last 3 months living in a van with her children.
And I regret having to sleep out there so bad. I tell them I'm sorry, but I tried. I tried to keep hotels. I tried to pay people to stay there. It wasn't working for me.
1 a.m. on Monday morning, they parked at the Hollywood Greektown Casino parking garage in below freezing temps. Overnight, the car ran out of gas, and the next day, her 9-year-old son was not breathing.
I tried to give him CPR, and I was just giving him CPR. I just kept saying, Fetty, don't leave me. Don't.
Your kids passed and we're already partying. Like, what are we doing? Now, supposedly you were homeless. You didn't have anywhere to go. But hey, guess what, right? Guess what? Before they decided to actually put a warrant out for her arrest, they went ahead and gave the woman a house. They went ahead, gave her this, gave her this, gave her this, gave her this. And the sad thing about it, so many women tried to bring the father down, try to say the father needs to get arrested. But hey, right? The whole point is this mother, the kids passed under her control. And once again, she was in a casino. She really wasn't doing a whole lot to make sure that those kids were in a good position. We're just being honest here. And it took them a long time to pretty much get this woman arrested. But it takes them that long to go ahead and put a warrant out for her arrest. Then we have a couple of more videos where you have a father walking through the house, walking through his baby mother's house that is filthy, that is dirty, with their children sleeping in there, right? And I believe the chick, she has a stepdaughter in there or somebody else's child or whatnot, but the guy's daughter is living there. Guess where the mother was at?
Living my children living life. Living my children living life. My children living life, man. I get him here. Get him children here, bro. So my stepdaughter called me, and she called me. She asked me to bring her something to eat. So I get her. I ask her where her mom is. It says that her mom is in Gulf Breeze, Pensacola. Get over here. She tell me she hungry, so of course I look in the refrigerator. Nothing but old food in the refrigerator. Nothing but old food in the refrigerator. Refrigerator a mess. So I got a 3-year-old daughter here, 2-year-old daughter.
The The mother was out partying. How many times are we going to see this where mothers are just leaving their children at home while they get to go out and go party and go do whatever they want to go do? We had a whole nother story that broke where a mother left her children in the house, I believe for like 5 years or something during COVID.
A Montgomery County mother is wanted by police in 2 different states tonight after investigators say her 2 young children were found in deplorable living conditions.
The 12 and 3-year-old were left alone to fend for themselves for nearly 2 months. ABC 13's Brooke Taylor is live outside the home where all of this happened. Brooke?
Yeah, all of this really hard to believe. Now, the mom left about a few months ago, but they moved into this home a year ago, and the children were never enrolled in school in Texas. So officials tell me it was really easy for all of this to just go unnoticed. Inside this home, a nightmare for 2 young children, 12 and 3 years old. Roman Forest Police Chief Stephen Carlisle says they were abandoned for nearly 2 months.
There was no food in the house. Everything was empty. There was some dry beans and some spices is about it.
Their mother, Raven Yates, left them in late September, he says. There's been a warrant out for her arrest since December. Investigators say the 12-year-old never told anyone because she was threatened by what might happen to her little brother. They have different fathers.
And she was afraid that her father was going to take her and leaving the 3-year-old by himself.
Fearful, she obeyed. She'd call her father, saying mom was working and he would send food. According to police, he's a music producer in California. He called police once family members spotted Yates in Mobile, Alabama, where she's from, without her kids.
When he got a call from his ex-mother-in-law and they put 2 and 2 together, he caught the first plane over here.
Investigators shocked to see how they were living.
The officers checked the bedroom of the children and discovered heavy urine odor coming from the 3-year-old's bed.
Yates continues to be active on social media, posting to her thousands of followers as investigators work with Mobile police to arrest the 31-year-old's mom.
This morning, we're turning the spotlight on a horrifying discovery in Michigan. Officers finding 3 siblings living alone in deplorable conditions. And now their mother's waking up behind bars. This is what it looked like inside. And my friends, we even had to blur some of these images because it's just too disgusting. This home was filled with garbage and human waste, and the 2 girls and 1 boy, ages 15, 13, and 12, had been living like this for years. Neighbors are stunned.
Everybody's upset about it, like, oh my God, this is right in our neighborhood. How could something like this happen?
My goodness. Now, this 34-year-old mother was living someplace else, apparently, and somebody would drop off prepared meals for the teenagers. Lately, it was just a loaf of bread. Officers were called when the landlord said that he hadn't heard from his tenant since December, and she hadn't paid her rent since October. You know, how could nobody know this was happening in this house?
Just so she can go out and go party, and she was only sending loaf of bread back and forth. That is crazy. And what's sad is, man, you're only seeing it with sisters and women. You're only seeing it with sisters and women. Yet they swear men are the main ones that don't want to take care of their kids, that don't want to do this, that don't want to do that. This is beyond ridiculous. But there are men who will go out the way to harm their child. But the fact that we're just seeing so many women leave their children at home to fend for themselves and be the same ones that say that they're boss babe, that they're independent, that they don't need a man, same ones that jump on the internet to complain about the very man that they end up having children with. It's wicked. It's a sad state, man. And with these women who are doing this stuff, man, I just have to ask, man, for at least for the men who decided to shoot the club up, did you not see signs beforehand that maybe this lady is unstable? So let's go ahead and read this article. So the article goes on to say, an Augusta man was arrested a week after leaving 3 young children unattended at a McDonald's restaurant while he attended a job interview. Chris Lewis, 24, of Young Drive, was charged on March 22nd with deprivation of a minor. So I'm just assuming they're talking about the 1-year-old, right? Because the year-old is going to need to be in a house somewhere. Like, let's just be honest, right? So then it goes on to say the incident occurred that day at the McDonald's located at 2902 Washington Road in Augusta, I believe Augusta, Georgia, which has a playground inside. Authorities were called after a concerned customer noticed the children ages 1, 6, and 10 were left alone. So it then goes on to say a responding police officer found the children unattended. A witness reported seeing Lewis with the children around 4:30 p.m. that day. The witness also observed Lewis leave the restaurant, return later before leaving again. It then goes on to say Lewis arrived back at McDonald's around 6:18 p.m. and was detained by officers. He explained that he had to walk to the restaurant with his children from his apartment and didn't want to make them walk back while he attended a nearby job interview. He said he did not own a vehicle. So, a lot of people are going to say that, hey, the 10-year-old is obviously old enough to be able to take care of those children. And listen, once again, I'm not taking anything away from this father. I'm not trying to pile anything on this man. I will just say, if you already had an apartment, you should have just left him there, right? You should have just left him there. That is just my opinion. I think that is bad thinking on his hand. But look, guys, y'all do me a huge favor. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know down below, what do y'all think?